Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Easy Online English. I'm Sahara, and today we have 50 expressions for you. And you can use these expressions to sound more natural in English by using these advanced verbs. So let's go. In the first part, all of these expressions use advanced phrasal verbs. So first, I will say a sentence, and then I will say a more natural one using a phrasal verb. So repeat the natural one after me. In the first one, this magazine is made for teenagers. Or you could say it like this. The magazine is aimed at teenagers. The magazine is aimed at teenagers. She refused to stop arguing and was fired. Or you could say it like this. She refused to back down and she was fired. She refused to back down and she was fired. He drove to his house quickly. Or you could say it like this. He sped off to his house. He sped off to his house. Make your room clean. But you can say it like this. Tidy your room, or tidy up your room. Tidy up your room. I'm procrastinating on my paper and it's making me anxious. Say it like this. I am putting off my paper and it's making me anxious. I am putting off my paper and it's making me anxious. We became distant from each other bit by bit. Or you could say it this way. We drifted away from each other. We drifted away from each other. He was shot by a gun. It's better to say this. He was gunned down. He was gunned down. She stored the plates in the cabinet. Or you can say it like this. She put away the plates in the cabinet. She put away the plates in the cabinet. It was very sunny, so I had to come inside. It's better to say this. The sun was beating down on me, so I had to come inside. The sun was beating down on me, so I had to come inside. The lizard eats mosquitoes and other insects. Or you could say, the lizard feeds off of mosquitoes and other insects. The lizard feeds off mosquitoes and other insects. You need IT skills to progress in this job. Or you could say, you need IT skills to get ahead at this job. You need IT skills to get ahead in this job. My sister and I are good friends. But it's more natural to say, my sister and I get along. My sister and I get along. He braked hard when he saw the rabbit. But you could say it like this. He slammed on the brakes when he saw the rabbit. He slammed on the brakes when he saw the rabbit. I can't access my Facebook. It's better to say this. I can't log into my Facebook. I can't log into my Facebook. I had to research this new word. It's better to say this. I had to look up this new word. I had to look up this new word. They allowed me in the new club at school. But it's better to say this one. They let me into the new club at school. They let me into the new club at school. She shouted at me angrily. Say this. She lashed out at me. She lashed out at me. Let's meet and talk about the project after lunch. This sounds more natural. Let's link up and talk about the project after lunch. Let's link up and talk about the project after lunch. Do you want to visit each other this evening? It's better to say this. Do you want to hang out this evening? Do you want to hang out this evening? I didn't buy the car because the salesman wasn't giving me a good price. Actually, we would probably say this. I didn't buy the car because the salesman was ripping me off. I didn't buy the car because the salesman was ripping me off. Joining the army made me mature a lot. But we would probably say this. Joining the army made me grow up a lot. Joining the army made me grow up a lot. He decided to leave his job because he didn't approve of his boss. Or you could say it like this. He decided to walk out on his job because he didn't approve of his boss. He decided to walk out on his job because he didn't approve of his boss. They ended their relationship. We actually would say they broke up. They broke up. They decided to cancel the party this evening. We would probably say this. They decided to call off the party this evening. They decided to call off the party this evening. We bought our items and left the store. What we would really say is we checked out and left the store. We checked out and left the store. They sharply increased the prices of oranges this month. What we would really say is they jacked up the prices of oranges this month. They jacked up the prices of oranges this month. Climate change is causing animals to go extinct. Or we would say climate change is causing animals to die off. Climate change is causing animals to die off. They expelled him from school. We would actually say this. They kicked him out of school. They kicked him out of school. Did you hear about the man that escaped from prison? We would say, did you hear about the man that busted out of prison? Did you hear about the man who busted out of prison? They looked, but they didn't find the lost toy. Or you could say this. They looked, but they didn't come across the lost toy. They looked, but they didn't come across the lost toy. Okay, in this second part, all of these expressions use advanced natural sounding verbs to simplify the sentence. So again, I will say one sentence, and then the second one will be the more natural one. So repeat the second one after me. I tried to trick my parents, but they found out my plan. What you could say is, I tried to outsmart my parents, but they found out my plan. I tried to outsmart my parents, but they found out my plan. These clothes circulate air well. What you need to say is, these clothes breathe well. These clothes breathe well. Let's search for it on the internet. It's better to say, let's Google it. Let's Google it. He walked up and down the hallways. What you really need to say is, he paced up and down the hallways. He paced up and down the hallways. The proud father walked around showing off his newborn son. What you need to say is, the proud father strutted around with his newborn son. The proud father strutted around with his newborn son. My grandma dragged her feet as she slowly walked to the kitchen. Or you could say it, my grandma shuffled to the kitchen. My grandma shuffled to the kitchen. He walked slowly and leisurely through Central Park. What you could say is, he strolled through Central Park. He strolled through Central Park. We drove leisurely and slowly around town in our new convertible. Or you could say, we cruised around town in our new convertible. We cruised around town in our new convertible. He was killed with a knife. what we would probably say is, he was stabbed to death. He was stabbed to death. Next one is, you really ate that quickly. Or you could say, you really gobbled that up. You really gobbled that up. I have to turn my AC to full strength. What we would probably say is, I have to blast my AC. I have to blast my AC. They made their offer higher by $1,000. Or you could say, they upped their offer $1,000. They upped their offer $1,000. The police entered the office violently. Or you can say, the police stormed into the office. The police stormed into the office. The man entered the room violently. Or you could say, the man barged into the room. The man barged into the room. I think it will just cause her to be more angry. Or you could say, I think it will just feed her anger. I think it will just feed her anger. They're getting married this weekend. Or you could say this, they're getting hitched this weekend. They're getting hitched this weekend. Gasoline prices have gone up greatly. A more natural way to say it would be, gasoline prices have skyrocketed. Gasoline prices have skyrocketed. I couldn't stop thinking about the strange noises in the attic. The strange noises coming from the attic kept haunting me, right? The strange noises from the attic kept haunting me. His sentences were full of curse words. Or you could say, his sentence was littered with curse words. His sentences are always littered with curse words. My daughter was looking enviously at your son's toy. Or you could say, my daughter was eyeing your son's toy. My daughter was eyeing your son's toy. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like the video below and leave a comment, like always, letting us know what is your favorite expression that you learned from this video. Next, we'll be doing more advanced videos with phrasal verbs, so be on the lookout for those. See you next time.